Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and as you can see right now, taking care of a small infestation problem that we've got going on. Holy crap. These guys are just everywhere. Alright, so now that we've gotten the T600 issues resolved, we're ready to get started. So let's go. Alright, so now that daylight has broken, you can see just how big that ship is. I mean, look at the rover in comparison to that thing. Oh, this is going to be huge. Whoop, helps if I put my helmet back on. Alright, so yeah, we went ahead and waited for sunlight to come up so that you could actually see what we're working on. I did make a few changes, nothing catastrophic. So when I was going through and looking at it, I like the idea of having the solid blocks here and then bringing it down another row so that we had the tapered coming in. So we went ahead and made that change over here, and then that has the added bonus. And it was kind of what made me decide on this. This then allows us to have the blast doors here sunk into the floor. So we won't have to have an additional height on this. Like another block in this room. Now, I did leave some spaces out, and this is intentional, because I will be adding the, the conveyor air vents mod. I thought I had it loaded, but I don't, so I'm going to have to load that in. So we'll have one of those air vents here, we'll have another one there in the reception area, or what we're, the entrance, I should say. Now, we did go ahead and add, there are windows on either side of the stairs here. The shaded side is facing into the stairwell, I think. I don't remember now. I think I did it that way. And then this one, there's a window back here to seal this off. So once the air vent's in, we'll be able to actually seal the entire room over here, barring, leaving it actually opened above. And then over here, because we have the force field, once this is sealed off in here, we'll actually be able to make this airtight as well. Now, what I have done on this side, and I'm going to repeat on the other side as a structural element, made a small change to where our piston is going to be mounted. We're going to bring it up here, and then the piston will be mounted here on this block. And we'll have it basically do the same on the other side, just to give it a little bit of a structural look to it. We have some things over here that we're going to place in to finish the windows out, and then the actual entrance here, the ramp up, will have no air vent, so we won't be venting small amounts of oxygen every time we open and close the thing. But we will have windows looking into it, and this is one of the areas where the tinted window, the tinted side, is in the hallway on both of these windows. So if you're in there, you'll have a tinted view into both the hangar as well as the little workshop bay area thing over there. Yep. So moving back here, we've gone ahead and put in 4 assemblers. Each one of them has been fully upgraded with forged speed modules. We've put the yield modules on the refinery, so there's 4 of those as well, and we have them positioned so that the pipes are on the outer edge and the block is on the inner edge, I think. I may have that backwards. I may have done it pipes. No, I did pipes inner on towards the storage, and the blocks on the outer edge. That's right. Okay, so that brings you up to speed to where we are right now. One of the things that we still need to do is we need to figure out how we're going to power this beast. So, we have the hangar space that'll be defined eventually. Have this. And this is where, so just walk you through it here. You come up the ramp. Ramp closes. You come through the airlock. You have the option of going into either one of the vehicle bays. You have your windows looking into the bay. It comes up into the hallway. You come up here. Okay. So what I'm thinking is we're going to have an air vent block here at the top. And I'm thinking we're going to put another one of the airlock doors in. So let's grab the door really quick. We're looking for the door, not the door. Okay. There you go. And we want you to be the regular airlock door. There we go. And I think we'll go ahead and do it that way. And then we'll put a light in the hallway there. So that brings us up to this point. We're going to have an air vent here. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that as a placeholder. Now, do we want to have... I'm thinking, honestly, to put some... Whoop, hit the mic. Sorry about that. I'm thinking, honestly, to put some windows here as we go down. And basically, we end up with a hallway down the spine. Oh, hello. A hallway down the spine of the vehicle. So you end up with something like this. And the idea at this point is I'm thinking we might put the residential back here. Now, I tend to not do residential near the construction pieces, specifically refineries and assemblers, because of the fact that you get that background noise all the time. And it's nice to sometimes have a spot in a base or vehicle where you don't hear all of the mechanicals all of the time. Now, with a ship this big, realistically, you would kind of assume that you're going to hear everything throughout the ship anyway. And what I'm thinking is we're going to go something like maybe something like this. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Because what I'm trying to figure out is I want to have the ability to do some detail lighting in here, so we'll have some backlights being able to cast through to make some shadows and things to make the surface look a little bit more interesting. I'm just trying to decide here. I mean, I can place a couple of lights down in here. And maybe along that edge. So if we do something like this, let's see what this looks like. If we do something like that, that could actually work out pretty nicely. Because if we do that, and then we say, okay, so if we just bring this straight back, alright, that ends up being done through there. Let's see here. So we do that and that. No, we need to take you two out and move you forward one. because the way that we have it set up, this is actually going to go that way. And then do I want to have... yeah, I guess we can. Because what we can do is we can have this basically wrap back around. And you would be there. So if we do this, and we flip you around that way, end up with that. Yeah, I think that might work actually. And what we'll do is we'll have a another set where we do the exact opposite on this side. So we'll have it facing this way so that the straps, so it looks like those are strapped in on one side, and then basically holding it all together here for us. Gives us a little bit more of a, I don't know, maybe it would work better like that. And we just have the straps here. Alright, let's give that a try. We'll try it both ways and see which way ends up looking better for us. So we do this. Because that gives us basically a bit of a bridge supporting it. Or we end up with an open area under it. Having the open area under it means that we can get in here to do repairs if we need to. But if we need to do those, we could still get to them this way. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Put it down in the comment section below, and we'll work with it either way. So we're gonna go ahead and set this one up as though we were going to use it this way, and let's see. We'll see how it all works out. So if we do that. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like on this side. And then again, if we put any lights or anything in, this will give us a little bit of shadow work up in here. And this will end up being like so. And we may come back and cut some of this out. Oh, I guess not, because we actually have the connectors on the side if we need them for something. And we want to make sure that some of this gear is actually somewhat protected, because we are using light armor blocks. Alright. So from this side, this is what we've got. I do kind of like the floating appearance of that a little bit better. But the structural engineer training, you know, like says this is probably the better realistic design. I don't know. Yeah, So definitely throw your comments down below. I'm kind of curious to see what your take on this is. The nice thing about Space Engineers is that it is actually fairly easy to change your mind later on, at least on some things. So that's actually a somewhat easy change to make, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Now what we were going to do here is that we are going to have this set up so that it basically is protecting everything here. Now I'm going to check. The first one is at the edge of it, yeah. Okay, so we go there. And you are there. See? Hopefully this makes sense. What I'm going to do here in the near future is I'm probably between this episode and next episode, we will turn Bob on and let Bob start welding all of this crap up for us, so that when we come back for the Friday video, you actually get to see everything in place, with whatever we have up to that point. And we will get a Bob on board the ship in order to start getting everything over on this side producing as well. And I'm thinking, while we're talking about Bob, let's go ahead and get a couple of them in here. I think I'm going to go that way with it. Because everything is tied together down there. So if we go... Oh, you know what? We can do it this way. We can put Bob there. Have another Bob. Have another Bob there, I guess. Alright, and we just go like so. We'll leave that open in case we decide to put something in over here. Now the reason why I wanted to get some of this detailing done is because I'm looking at where because we were talking earlier about the residential section, and I'm trying to figure out, do I want to put the residential section over the industrial section? There are some benefits to it. One of them being the fact that, it allows you to have a more compact build. But we are doing this giant behemoth. So what I'm wondering is, does it make sense to do something other than residential up here and maybe widen the ship up somewhere, or just overall increase the overall shape and size of the ship to put residential in somewhere else? Because we still have to put the command area in. And I do think I'm going to go asynchronous for the overall design. We go, let's do full blocks here. And we're going to say this is going to be the ultimate height of the ship. Yes. Okay, so this is going to be to there. To there. I need to be paying more attention to my H2 here. Okay, let's just go in, because I need to empty some of the stuff out of my inventory anyway, so we may as well just go ahead and hop in here. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the bottles. I know, that didn't sound right. There we go. Gets us our charge back. I mean, look at that. I think it's just... Wow, that is getting ridiculous. Okay. Well, we said we wanted a, you know, behemoth land barge thing. Alright. And then we're going to have our piston here. Landing gear is going to come off there. And what I'm thinking here is that we do a forced perspective to center. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's force the perspective a little bit, right? So we go like so. Let's grab our gear really quick. Okay. And then what we do is we give it a little bit of a artificial perspective by forcing this to be seen as the center of the room that you're working in. So you'll see this on some builds. Just depends on who you watch. And what we're doing here is we're setting, because as you can see, the space is actually an even number, and this is actually occupying 3 technically, but it basically looks like it's the 2 center because of the way everything's set up. And then we have this come down. Let's see, how do we want to do that? We are going to go going that way, so then we reverse it. If I can get my angles right here. There we go. And so what we're going to do I'll probably come back and hollow some of this stuff out later. What we're doing right now is we're just trying to get this to lay down the way we want it to. I want you to go that way. 2. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do we want to do that, or do we want to go that? I think that actually works a little bit better. And then what we'll do here is we will do the half blocks. And then run those up. See, and this is one of the ways that you can hide like little imperfections in your builds, because you change the way that you are forcing people to look at the room. So when everything is said and done, we're going to play with the whole, basically shifting the room over half a block. I may go ahead and do. Oh, okay, you're connected elsewhere. I'm sitting there going, did I just? Right. Do I want to go here? So if we do that there, not there, and you there, that allows us to then bring this in. You're actually going to go here and here. Okay, so we're not worried about that breaking down now. Let's see, we took that to there to there. So yes, I'm going to need to actually recess this one layer. Alright, so that at least gives you an idea of basically what we're going to do. And what I'll do is I'll keep playing with it until I get the perspective right. But when you walk into the room, you shouldn't be able to easily tell that the room is an odd number of blocks or that it's centered oddly. That's the idea, at least. So hopefully that'll work out. It's a trick that I've used in other builds. So once it's all welded up, it makes it a little bit harder to see. So we'll see. Well, I should say it makes it easier to see what I'm talking about, harder to see the rebalancing that we're doing with the sculpting. And I mean, ultimately, if it really irritated me, I would just change the number of blocks. Basically, cut the wall out, extend it out one, and do it that way. But it doesn't really bother me all that much. Of course, now it's going to bother everybody else because you're going to be looking at it, remembering what we're talking about here. You're just going to be like, damn it, Hal. All I see is this. I see this problem now. All right, so if we go... Let's go with the idea that we're going to put residential in here, right? I'm thinking we're going to have residential overhang this just a bit. And then this will be a wall. And yeah, so one of the things that I want to do, and I'm just trying to get an idea of where we need things to fit. And you are the center line walkway. Okay. Right, and I'll explain here in a second what we're actually doing. So what we're doing is we're going to have the hallway. This will be the walkway. And then somewhere down here will be a couple of doors on either side for residential spaces. So we'll have what we'll probably end up with is like a residential space on one side and then medical on the other. Or I don't know if I want to make a medical deck. Basically have it so this is the first area that you come into. And basically have a med bay area set up on either side and then have it double back somewhere down here where it'll go, say one side will go residential and the other side will be to the bridge command section. You know, or residential on one side and engineering on the other side. You see, and that's what I've been trying to figure out. As to exactly how I want to handle this, because we've got so many options. We did what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're talking about having this be a bit of a overhang here. And I might bring that out a little bit further. But yeah, so I'm thinking I might bring this out just a touch further. Instead of just one block, have it come out 2. Because if I bring this out like this, because this will be a back wall here. If we bring that out, we go here. Let's bring up our walkways really quick. Don't need you anymore. We want you instead. Let's grab. We want one with the single rail. There we go. I need girders. Always need more girders. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab a few of these. I don't need many. We'll just grab 100. And And I'll show you what we're talking about doing. And now I'm not sure how I'm going to end over on this side. I may have this continue around, I'm not sure yet. But what this allows us to do then is to have a system set up, or a, shouldn't say a system, yes, technically it's a system. Let's go 3x3s. There it is, 2x3. So going, I know we had these things before. So you are technically the wall. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we do that, we can then put an airlock in like that, and then we have a couple of windows to tie all of this together. So just to give you an idea, this is kind of what I'm thinking of. I'm not sure if we're going to go this route with it or not. There we go. And then just grab a 1x1. And like I said, keep in mind, I'm not saying that this is the way I'm going to keep it. And I'll probably do something with this a little bit differently to tie this in. You know what? I am going to. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And what I may do is have this come out and be a hallway that wraps around this way. So we'll have windows on this side, what you can see out. Then we'll have, say, a doorway somewhere over here-ish. Basically, you come in, and this will be like that. Like that. And then have it do something like this. That's the hallway there, so it needs to tie in here. And basically it just continues down that way. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this. Actually liking the way that this is coming together. And I may put a regular door on this, because the idea is that once you're this far in, you shouldn't need all the extra airlocks and everything. But for now, we'll go ahead and put this one here just so you can see where the doorway is going to be, and I have that upside down. Oh, you gotta love it, right? Gotta love it. All right, let's go ahead and take that out of there for a second. There we go. All right, and then that'll be our doorway, and then we might have some windows or something over here. And I'm thinking that it'll carry over here. We'll put a door there. And then just so we know where our rooms are actually going to be. Okay. And that way, if you want to go out on the balcony and have a cigarette, you know, you can. Alright. And then we will have you be a wall there. Like I said there, we know that we're going to have a wall of some kind at this end. But I'm not sure what I want to do with it. And we might put a window in here so you can see out, you know, back this way. But we'll see, we'll see. Okay. So, I think that's going to about do it for this one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some work off camera. We're going to turn on, you know, activate Bob, let him go to town on welding all of this stuff up. See if we can get this thing mostly up and running. And then when we come back next time, I should have the other side of this figure basically mirrored. We're going to have all of this over here too. And you know what I might do? I might actually change that to a corner one. And then that way we'd be able to have, because that's going to be air. I might make a few small changes, but it won't be anything drastic. You have the idea of basically what we're going for. We're going to mirror the windows on this side. We'll have another set of another door with the walkway area on it. The idea being that, you know, we'll have just areas for crew to relax. Also to be able to get around a little bit easier. And then we'll start working on the next level. Because I think we're going to make this... I don't know if we're going to make this a... This might end up being just a break room. We'll grab a couple of the furniture mods. We'll start and basically start furniture. Well, once we get to that point, we'll start doing some interior decorating. But for now, I think that's going to do it for us. So I want to thank you all for stopping in today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them down in the section below. And if you haven't done so already, you want to see more, be sure to subscribe as well. And on that note, I am going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Do I want to do it that way, or do I want to do it that way? I kind of like the idea that if we're defending it, we have better cover than they do. Alright, I think we're going to go with that.